guys, my name is Nono. Welcome to my channel where we discuss everything finances. Now today I want us to talk about the insurance illusion, things that they do not tell us, and I'm going to tell you this according to my experiences, right? So as to make it real, but I'm sure there are so many things out there that happen that shock people. Before I dive into this video, please remember to like, comment, share, and also subscribe. Now when you have when you have some sort of insurance, you pay your premiums every month and you are satisfied because you are thinking that in case anything happens, the insurance is going to pay. But that's not the case in most of the cases. I have a friend of mine who got involved in a car accident. His car was only 3 months old, and for some reason the insurance refused to pay. And I can tell you that he has had his car for he has paid it off now, and he never paid insurance again because he was very upset and heartbroken, as it was his very first experience of owning a new car, getting it insured, and having a shock of his life. He had to fix the car on his own, and he's driven his car since then, and he never took an insurance policy towards his car. And also maybe they might have their reasons why they have all those rules to safeguard, and maybe so that people do not take advantage. But for me, I'm like, at least give people their premiums back, at least. If you're going to refuse all together. Now with me, when I bought my car recently, I had registered an address in town, right where I am right now, but because at the time I was at home, so I decided to change the address and so when they were busy, I can't remember what happened, the broker had put the address in town, and then when the insurance was calling me and asking me for confirmation, I then put my home address, and they were like, no, the insurance premium went up. I inquired as to why it had gone up, and they told me that the area that I stayed in was a very high risk in terms of crime. But then when I analyze it, the hijackings happen everywhere, even in suburbs such as Centurion, New Centon. There's hijackings everywhere. But then anyway, if you come from a township or a rural area, they say that it's a high risk and your insurance goes up, which for me, I feel like it's not fair, because crime is everywhere in South Africa, regardless of whether you stay in a suburb area or in an informal settlement or in a rural area. Crime is always there. So for you to penalize some of us who come from remote areas, just because we come from remote areas we have to pay more, for me, I feel like that is not fair at all. But nonetheless, I changed the address and I paid a higher premium. And just yesterday, as I speak to you now, just yesterday I called them to put the address here in town, because I'm big in town, sort of like on a permanent basis. So my premium lowered again by, I think, 120. So my premium was 1,090, and then now they said I'll be paying 970, so it's 100 rand less. So but for me, I feel like that whole concept is a scam, and it's not fair, because crime is everywhere. So it's not fair to penalize people based on where they come from. For me, it's pure discrimination. Say what you want. Say what you want. And then I've also heard in cases of natural disasters, such as the fire that happened in California not so long ago, many homeowners did not get insurance payout because apparently there was a clause that didn't include fire. What is that? What's that, guys? So sometimes you ask yourself, like, what is really this insurance for, when you are hearing other people's stories? And also on my previous videos, I did mention that I put a roof at home. So what I did is that I took a home loan I classified that as a home loan for at home, so that the premiums are lower for me and all that. And I took my time to read the policy document thoroughly, and guess what it said? it say that in any event, if I'm not able to pay the loan back, the bank will take my house. Imagine, will take my house just for the small loan of 90,000 rand. They'll take my house that is now worth 600,000 rand. Surely there's another way to go about it. I was quite shook when I read that loan. I suppose one of the things that I need to do is try and pay it off as much as I can, so that if anything happens to me, I don't have to worry that the house that I've worked so hard for to build will now then be taken away from me. So you know, like, these are my experiences, but I know that there's other people who have had worse. When you're sitting there and you're thinking that your insurance is going to pay, and then they come and tell you that no, we are not paying anything. And also there's another example, it has not happened to me, but there's also another example of, you know, people who pay medical aid, the most expensive, but at the end of the day they die. Why? Because their medical aid has lapsed. I'll make an example of COVID-19, when ventilators were expensive, and they, you know, obviously in the private sector everything is priced. I know of someone who had the highest medical aid, paid for the ventilator or the oxygen, but once their money was done, unfortunately they had to take the oxygen away and give it to someone just because the money was done, but that person was on the highest, you know, medical aid. So is it really insurance, guys? Is it really? I know that there are other places where they do really pay out, they do really come through, but in some instances, like these few instances, is it really an insurance or is it a scam? But what I would advise, right, I just quickly checked, and like what I would advise is that you read your insurance documents, your policies. Whatever policy that they give you, read it thoroughly. Read it thoroughly so that you know exactly what you're getting into, so that in case of a disaster or an accident, you don't get shook when the verdict comes, you know. And also be free to ask the insurance company what they cover and what they do not cover, you know, so that you know fully what you are getting yourself into. And also, maybe another thing that you can do not just stick to one insurer. Try to get 2 or 3 and read their policies and see which one is favorable for you. I know insurance isn't just about like peace of mind, but it's also about like power, and also you deserve to know what they're going to be paying, you know, in case something happens. You deserve to know what they are paying for. Have you ever claimed, and have your claim ever been, you know, denied? Or have you ever discovered a hidden clause like me when you were going through your policy document? If you did, please share that with us in the comment section. Would love to know what the insurance companies, you know, did to you. And also, while you're at that, please feel free to like this video. You can share it as well, and also, most of all, please subscribe. Until the next video, thank you so much. Bye.